I have bitten my tongue about this guy for a very long time because I generally just don't want to have to call people out. That's really not my style. I prefer to keep things, it's not even so much civil. I just think, people have the right to a private life until they don't. And I believe, Colin, you have that image because I don't see it in the overlay. The one that I texted to you. I need that tweet message. I got to pull that up. So I don't need the picture of Evan. I need the other one. I need that tweet that I sent you a few minutes ago.
Is it this one?
It. You just missed it. Go back. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to set this up for you guys. And I'm, like I said, I am not holding back anymore. You guys know where I stand on this. And of course, this evening I'm wearing my Maguire's Irish shirt. I am Irish on my father's side. We're going to get into Patty McCrory with Ron very shortly. But I do want to address this particular issue here. Now, for those of you who don't know many of the people in South Florida politics, not that you should, it's not really important, but one person in particular who has often stood out to me as somebody who I just really don't like. He always came off as a weasel, getting himself involved in a lot of things that he shouldn't have been getting himself involved in. And he is, well, first of all, I would call him a Democratic Party sycophant. So you could start with that. That gives you an idea of what type of person he is. And was always getting into confrontations with a lot of people and saying a lot of outlandish things that he shouldn't have been saying, really walking that fine line between you're being an ass to you're going to get your ass kicked, I think is probably the best way to describe it. The man's name is Evan Ross. And this is I guess a story that he wrote that he put on Instagram within the last hour. In 1981, Reagan told Israel not to bomb Iraq's nuclear reactor. Israel did it anyway. In 2007, Bush told Israel not to bomb Syria's nuclear reactor. Israel did it anyway. In 2025, Trump is telling Israel not to bomb Iran's nuclear facilities. Israel should do it anyway. You know what type of a person writes stuff like this? A Zion Nazi, a total weak person in every sense of the word. And now that this person wants to be public enemy number one, okay, great. Well, let's make him public enemy number one. I want everyone to know who he is. I want everyone to see his face. I don't want there to be any lingering doubt about who your domestic enemies are, because this person didn't just spring up out of nowhere. He's been at it for a long time. And Jen and I were at a public event where he was at, and this was a little over a year ago. And at the time, I was saying to Jen, he better not say anything to me, because if he does, I'm going to hurt him, and I'm going to hurt him badly. And so, Colin, if you would, please pull up the other message that I sent you. This is Evan Ross. And as you can see, Evan Ross likes to keep very specific company, Bari Weiss and Michael Rappaport. This was at an event not too long ago in Miami. You know, it doesn't even matter what the message is. It's just a reflection of who these people really are. They're disgusting. They're irredeemable. And they should never be forgiven, ever. I mean, I have some pretty nasty thoughts about what I think should happen to the Zionists in this country. See what they're doing to the Palestinians? No, I'm not saying we need to resort to those type of tactics. However, I don't want to be around people like this. I don't want to be around people that say, let's start World War III. Oh, and by the way, I won't do a damn thing to defend this country. It's always people like this. And let me tell you, the thing that really got me on edge when I saw this guy at this event, he was walking around with that same stupid dog tag around his neck about, release the hostages. If there is anything that has been displayed over the past week, especially with what happened in Washington, D.C., what just happened in Colorado, they do not value anyone who is not their own in the same context. They believe in a racial, ethnic, religious superiority to everybody else. Now, the problem we're facing today, which is the biggest issue of all, is that there is this conflation that has been going on for far too long between Judaism and Zionism. And people like Evan Ross make it their mission in life to conflate the two things together, that you simply cannot separate them, that they must be the same. And all the while, to every one of you in South Florida who are going to see this, you have kept your mouth shut forever. You have let this man get away with everything forever. And why do they keep their mouth shut? Because Evan Ross, like many others in the Zionist movement, come from a lot of money. And a lot of that money gets redirected into the Democratic Party, even in a state like Florida, led by another Zionist, Nikki Fried, who does the exact same thing. And this is exactly why nothing changes. Why, if you're wondering, oh, why don't they do anything? It's not hard to see why. This is their modus operandi. And it's never going to change. They will continue to do these things until the only solution to this problem, and there is only one, the United States must sever ties with Israel. That's it. You have to cut them off at the throat, take away their power, and that's how it ends. That's the only way. This guy, who's as big a pussy as you could possibly imagine, and he's not a small guy. You will never see me, ever, try to physically intimidate somebody who is not at least my size, if not bigger. He's about 6'2". He's, fairly broad-shouldered, but I will not hesitate. And I would do to him what Patty McCrory did to Shuki Faraj the other night. I wouldn't hesitate for 2 seconds. And I would tell him, Evan, if you're seeing this message, you better hope we don't run into each other at any point in the near future. In fact, ever again. Never run into each other ever again. You put out a message tonight basically calling for the mass killing of millions of innocent people. And you sit there with that fucking smirk on your stupid face. Here's somebody who never properly got his ass kicked. And I mean properly as in should be begging for mercy for the person to stop hurting them. He's never gotten it. It's pretty obvious. I really, really, really have had enough. I've had enough. And I would hope that everybody else has too. I espouse my opinions, and they're very strong, I know, but I haven't gotten to the point where I felt that I had to directly call out somebody. Well, that's over now. This guy not only has it coming, but I hope you're all taking note of what his Instagram account is. Mr. Evan Ross. Make him famous because thousands of people are going to see this stream. So make him famous. This guy wants to call for World War III. This guy wants to talk like a big shot. Let's see how fucking big he is when people actually point the arrow back in his direction. I know everybody's seeing that video that's been floating around, another video that unfortunately we all have to bear witness to, of these innocent children in Gaza that are being slaughtered every day. This guy gleefully smiles at it and doesn't think there's anything wrong with it. In fact, he embraces it. Shame on this motherfucker. And shame on everybody who doesn't speak up.